Hi guys, today it's time for steak with peppercorn sauce, one of my absolute favourite things to cook and eat. Thank you to everyone who voted in the poll. It's really helpful for me to get a feel for what people want to see me cook. So keep the ideas coming, I'm all for that. So for the steak, we'll talk about that in a second. The sauce, peppercorn sauce, we've got a mortar and pestle here. I've just bashed up some peppercorns, okay, all variety of here. I've got black, white and pink. If you just got your regular kind of pepper grinder, that will absolutely do. I've got some shallots, onions are fine, spring onions are fine as well. I've got about 100 ml of double cream. I've got some booze, okay, I'm using brandy, about 100 ml. You could also use rum, just watch the sweetness on that, super sweet. And you could also use whiskey. And about 1/4 pint of chicken stock. That's all we need for the sauce. Put that to one side for now. And then let's talk about our steak. Now then, for me, I've got a beautiful piece of rump here. I like all cuts of steak. They all offer something different. It depends on the cooking for me, depends on the cut. If it's a leaner cut like fillet or sirloin, then I'll keep it absolutely medium rare for me personally. If it's a more fatty cut, that's absolutely great. I love that because the marbling gives us loads of flavor. But what we don't want is any of that fat running through the steak to be unrendered. We want to render all that fat off. So I will take this cut, which is rump. I would do the same with ribeye to about medium. Okay, that's what we're going for. Pan on, super hot. It's already getting hot. We want it blisteringly hot. I can't emphasize that enough. What we're looking to do is sear our steak. When we sear something, it brings color, which is therefore flavor, and it brings texture. We want to get a nice kind of bark running across our steak, and that's really delicious to get that bit of crunch as you eat, okay? So we season the steak really well. Good pinch of salt. We season the meat on that side, and we also season the plate so we can flip it over in a sec. Good pinch of salt, and a really good grind of pepper as well. Again, we season the plate, like so. And that means we can just pick the steak up, we can mop it up. Take all that seasoning up. We don't want to have any of the meat without any seasoning on it. We just run that all over the plate like that. Beautiful, there we go. Pan, I can feel now, is getting super hot. In with our oil, good glug of oil. And we're going to wait until we see that start to smoke. We're going to actually just get the meat in the pan just as it starts smoking. That means it's hot enough. I just move this out of the way for a sec. Okay, we've got our pan. It's starting to smoke now, so it's hot enough. We're going to take our steak and we're looking for that sizzle. Okay, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear the steak hit the pan and give us that sound. We're going for the back third of the pan, not the middle. The back third is the hottest part. We're going to lay it away. That's the sound we want to hear. If you don't hear the sound, get the steak back out of the pan and wait a little bit longer. I can't emphasize how hot we want the pan to be to make sure we get that sear. And the key thing is not to touch it. Don't move it, don't flip it. We're going to flip it once and once only. In terms of when, it's a case of looking at the steak. We cook with all our senses, which is what excites me so much about cooking. We see with our eyes, we smell, we hear, we can touch. A lot of people use the method where they are looking at the fleshiness of their hand. A lot of people use that to kind of detect whether the steak is ready. For me, it's just a case of knowing. You do it enough times, you just know, okay? So we're gonna let that sear nicely for a few minutes. Okay, it's about time to flip our steak. Before we do, I'm gonna go in with some garlic. I've just got some cloves of garlic. I've just crushed them just to burst them open, get them in the pan, along with some rosemary. Okay, got some lovely rosemary, put that in the pan as well. Garlic, rosemary. So people associate rosemary with lamb, but it goes great with steak as well. So get that in the pan, let that start roasting off, and then we're gonna flip our steak. And what we're looking for is that lovely golden color. Just look at that. Beautiful sear. That's where all the color is, all the texture is. Don't move it, only flip it once. Make sure your pan is hot enough in the back third. That's what you get. Now then, we've got our rosemary, we've got our garlic, we're gonna baste, okay? It's all about the baste. So I've got a really good knob of butter here. Don't be shy with it. Don't forget you're not eating all that butter. It's just in there to help us baste. So we get our butter in the pan. Just let that melt down a little bit. And then we're gonna start to baste, okay? Tilt your pan and start to baste your steak. All those flavors. Get the rosemary, get the garlic on top. And just baste it beautifully, look at that. Keep basting it. All that flavour running through the steak. Tilt the pan, keep basting. We've got enough oil in the pan to stop the butter burning, so we don't have to worry about that. Look at that colour, look at all that flavour going on in the pan there. And that's our steak cooked, all right? So we're gonna set it aside and we're gonna let it rest. Really important, let our steak rest. Set to one side. Now then, it's time to make our sauce. Into the pan, we're gonna go in with our onions, shallots, red onions, spring onions, whatever you've got. It's just, at the moment, it's all about just using what you've got at home. Sweat them down. Look at that, beautiful. Give those a chance to just sweat down a little bit. Now we're going to go in with our brandy. In we go. And we just want to let that reduce down to about half its quantity. You can smell it. When you can smell that harsh alcohol smell is gone, then that's when we know we've burnt off the alcohol. So we just let that happen for a minute. The smell is amazing at this point. And now we're going to go in with our peppercorns. I want a good handful. I mean, if you want a little bit less heat, just reduce the amount, but it is a peppercorn sauce after all. I'm going to go in with a good few handfuls of my peppercorns. Don't be shy with them. Brilliant. Stir those through. Give them a chance to cook out a little bit. So I can smell now, I can see that our alcohol is reduced by about half. So we've burnt off all the alcohol, we're left with that lovely flavour. I'm going to go in with some chicken stock. About a quarter of a pint, maybe a little bit less. About there, that'll do. And again, we let the chicken stock reduce. It's all about letting the sauce develop and reduce. So leave it on the heat. At the moment, the sauce looks kind of murky, it looks kind of strange. We're going to go in with our cream in a sec, and then it will all just come together. The cream will just bring it together. It'll be delicious. Awesome sauce. It's all in one pan. Steak needs to rest anyway, so you just use your pan. You've got all the flavors in there. The alcohol has brought all the flavor off the bottom of the pan. It's deglazed the pan. And then we're just developing our sauce. We turn the heat down now, because when we go in with our cream, if we go in and let it boil, then it'll split. Okay, so we want to let our sauce just reduce down, but with the heat down on the hob, getting ready just to finish our sauce. Okay, so our sauce is reduced down now. We're just going to finish it off with our cream. So we get our double cream. We don't want it too hot, just go in. I'm not going to use it all, that's about 50 ml gone in there. Just stir that through your sauce. And it just brings that sauce together. Look how it just incorporates. You want to let the heat get through it, but as I said, not let it boil. You don't want it to split. Look at that, awesome. I'm just going to hit it with a bit more peppercorns towards the end, just to lift it again. And finally, we got our steak. Look how awesome that looks. I got all the resting juices from the steak. I'm going to pour those in. Don't waste those. Absolutely full of flavour. Get those into your sauce. There we go, look at that. Just get those resting juices in there. Brilliant. Stir those through. And give it a taste. Let's try it. So much flavour from the steak, from the pan juices, from the cream, from the alcohol, from the peppercorns. It just bursts in your mouth. It's amazing sauce. Absolutely love it. That's ready. Take it off the heat. Steak's had plenty of time to rest now. It's time to carve. Favourite bit, always cut into the steak. Everyone loves cutting into steak. See how it's cooked. Remember, we're going for medium. Make sure all that fat is rendered. Let's cut into it. Look at that, beautifully evenly cooked through the middle. There's no bloodiness because it's had lots of time to rest. Keep cutting through it. Look at that. Amazing. So we just lose the rosemary, we don't need that anymore. There we are. I'm just gonna get our steak onto a plate now, plate it up. I'm just gonna put it on the plate beautifully. Look at that. That pinkness. I want you to be able to see that. Beautiful pink cook in the middle. Look at that, awesome. And then of course, our awesome sauce. This sauce is absolutely plenty for two, so if you want more, just adjust the quantities. If you want less, that's fine as well, but it will keep in the fridge for a couple of days. Look how glossy and beautiful that sauce is, amazing. I'm just gonna top our steak with that. Who doesn't want to dive into that? Awesome, awesome, I love it. It's quick and easy, doesn't take that long. I appreciate the steak is not something that we eat like every day, it's a bit of a treat, but right now, I think we all deserve a treat, and I'm certainly gonna enjoy this in a minute. There we go, look at that. One more spoon. Amazing sauce over the top, look. So easy, full of flavour. Just garnish it with a bit of coriander, look. Look at that. Awesome. Serve it with chips, serve it with mash, serve it with whatever you like. So there we have it, guys. One of my absolute favourite things to eat. Rump steak with peppercorn sauce. Try it out, treat yourself, enjoy. See you soon.